Aisha,
That's
I
the
know
concept.
you've been listening very patiently. You're also a very keen stakeholder in terms of understanding how the program in India is working. What do you think we can do better?
Okay. Hi, everyone. First, Rishika, I would really like to congratulate you because I think you covered it in a nutshell in the beginning. I think the biggest problem is with the animal birth control program actually being able to address the issue of dog bites and whether it really works. I have actually read a lot of the papers that Dr. Vanak has written as somebody who's completely following the ABC program. I am curious and keen to see what critics of the program have to say. And I believe that, and in fact, I think he would agree here in his own papers have stated so, that it is implementation, the lack of proper documentation available from the government that is the key problem. Now, I'll get straight to the solutions because I believe in those very strongly.
Yes.
I'll start with the most important, which is education and awareness, honoring what the youngest person amongst us said, that at the end of the day, children and elderly are the most vulnerable. And education and awareness, in fact, was considered the number two contributing factor to eradicating rabies in Goa
Yes.
recently. We don't actually require hundreds of organizations and hundreds of lots and lots of resources, contrary to what we are being made to believe. Neither
Okay.
are the solutions as complicated as we are making them out to be. I'll give you an example. With COVID, the Delhi government made it so clear how to combat COVID. They gave you zones, they gave you demarcation areas. There were red, yellow, need to do
Yes.
the same for rabies control, and rabies is actually much easier. In Delhi, if you look at from the government's side, corruption is the biggest reason preventing ABC from making the effect that it does. There is practically no proper surveillance that's happening. That is the reason why you say there are not enough numbers available to us, either of dog bites or the number of dogs. The livestock census data for 2012 and 2019 has been copied and pasted. So, the first thing we need to address is surveillance. And in addressing the corruption, my answer to addressing the corruption is actually to include local feeders, caregivers, and RWAs. The reason the battle exists on the street, the battle, why is it that people who have a problem with dogs or who get bitten by dogs, why is it that they go to the animal lovers and the feeders? Because when they go to the authorities and they rarely get answers. The people available right in front of them, taking stock and responsibility of the problem, are feeders and caregivers.
Yes. And they
So the
become the
kind of
villains in a certain
we
sense as far as the story is concerned.
Absolutely. And it's extremely frustrating because if you look at my center's numbers, we've sterilized over 20,000 dogs. Uh, Over 70 to 80% of these dogs have been brought to us by animal lovers, not the municipality. And I am impaneled by the municipality.
Yes.
If you look at our numbers for last year, 2,700 dogs were bought by animal lovers, 500 dogs were brought by municipality
I think
vans
that
because
also
half the dogs
validates
run away from
Analika's
them.
community participation point in a big way. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
questions
So
need to be asked
I think
answered by the MCD, but it validates the community participation point for sure. Yes.
absolutely. So my answer to making the system more accountable is to include caregivers in it.
Okay.
They hound organizations such as me to ensure that their dogs come back to the right place, that we've picked them up properly.
Yes.
So they are the answer.